Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on Friday the 8th of December. As always, we bring you the news, community stories, economics, weather, as well as the sport. I am Ashwin Berry. In the news tonight, Oshana Regional Police Commander Commissioner Naftali Lungameni Sakaria on Thursday promoted 460 officers and told them to work harder as the sky is the limit. Now, Sakaria also told the officers that discipline is key to maintaining team effort. T.A. Mohaidula reports.
We honestly have to thank the Inspector General and his approach on the promotion, general promotion. This is a mass promotion. It was never seen before. So because of the strategy that they approached, they adapted at the headquarters. And I am urging you to make sure that you move to the next level. You don't get promotion and just go and sit down. Now it's time to show your capabilities. As long as this leadership continue here at in this region, there is no limit. Skies are probably the limit. We are looking at performance. We are looking at deserving people who are working. I'm not looking at people who are complaining, coming here in the way chepe every day. Your work must show that you deserve to get your promotion. And the discipline is key to achieve this.
All right, let's get straight into our second story. Renowned Kwaito artist Exit held a press conference at King's Lounge ahead of the Rockers Reunion Festival set for Saturday 9 December at Sam Nujoma Stadium. Addressing journalists, Exit not only hyped the upcoming concert, but also announced the release date for his 2023 album titled The Flood, scheduled for release on Sunday, the 10th of December. Michael Kayunde reports.
It is with profound excitement and gratitude that I share details about the upcoming Rockers Reunion event, a momentous occasion that is poised to celebrate not only my music legacy, but also the collective journey of creativity and innovation within the Namibian music industry. Scheduled to take place on the 8th, that is Friday, and the 9th of December, that is marketed, that is Saturday 2023, the hashtag Rockers Reunion event represents a monumental convergence of music, culture, and shared experiences. It is a manifestation of the enduring passion and unwavering support that has propelled my career, as well as a platform to express appreciation for the invaluable contributions of fellow artists, collaborators, and supporters who have enriched the musical.
Now, Governor Honorable James Uerkoya of the Oshodonjupa region has urged Mayor Honorable Beatrice Katongodo to expedite the land delivery process. Additionally, he underscored the imperative nature of relocating the dump site. It was decomposition in 2020, noting that a new site has been identified for this particular purpose.
With the environmental impacts that are to be catered for within the laws of the Republic. The aim is also existing that Okahanja need now to expand. But for Okahanja to expand, we already put it to the municipality through the mayor that they need to accelerate the process of land delivery. They need to ensure that we take stock of the needs of the land within Okahanja and how much we can fast track that. The Ekunda number 4 and number 5 projects were done back in 2021. And within 3 weeks, after the surveying and everything else, at least a total of 570 plus projects were plots were realized out of Ekunda number 4 and number 5. And that was to ensure that we attend to the backlog of land delivery in Okahanja. Your Worship the Mayor, Okahanja is known as a garden town. Even when you end up from Windhoek, it's written the garden town. But you ask yourself a question. You would want to see a town that is clean. You would want to see a town that attracts and lures in investors. And investors are people that want to see a clean place where if I invest in, I'm indeed assured that my investment is safe and I am actually doing the right thing. I put it upon you. Come up with a cleanup campaign, a deliberate one. Run it for 3, 5, 6 months. We did it with Otavi. Go see what Otavi looks like now. We are busy with it in Grootfontein, but Chivarongo have just launched theirs now. So I would implore upon you, sit with your management, sit with your colleagues, come up with a deliberate program of cleaning up our town, go to the informal settlements. You see a heap of dead material and everything else that is just, and it is a house of somebody. Close by is a converted dump site that is just created. How do you expect the kids of that house to grow? In what environment are they growing? It is incumbent upon ourselves as leaders to take to the front and say that indeed, this cannot be allowed to continue this way. Look out for voluntary relationships whereby you have a lot of people out there, citizens who are ready to come on board, business people who are ready to come on board. The only thing that is needed is guidance through providing leadership. And as a mayor, in your leadership, do what is the right thing, stand firm on a decision that you have taken, ensure that you are collective in your consultation, ensure that the community is informed of the day-to-day dealings of your officers. That is to restore trust, and through transparency and accountability, trust is restored, as according to the President, His Excellency Dr. Hage Godfrey Tengo. Mr. Kevin and your team.
Now, in our Story of the Day segment, the Judicial Service Commission for the first time conducted public interviews. Stay with Sunset News.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Right, in our Story of the Day, the Judicial Service Commission for the first time conducted public interviews of candidates nominated to be appointed as judges of the High Court. 3 shortlisted applicants are currently being interviewed today at the Supreme Court. The candidates for appointment as High Court judges are Namibia's Chief Magistrate Philanda Christian, who is currently an acting judge of the High Court, and lawyer Beatrix De Jager, who is practicing law as a member of the Society of Advocates of Namibia. And Slaisken Makando Philanda Christian was the first to be interviewed.
Last one, is what is the difference between the owners and burden of proof in a civil case opposed to a criminal case?
In a criminal case, the onus is that the state must prove its case beyond the reasonable doubt. And in a civil matter, it should be on a balance of probability. The difference between the two is that the one has got I must say, the burden to prove your case is less than the other. In the civil, the minimum form of doubt that exists in the evidence would sway the decision in favor of the applicant who brings a matter to court. In criminal, it must be beyond a reasonable doubt. All elements of this offense must be put to the evidence and verdict of guilty.
So, in a civil case, who bears the burden? Who bears the burden in this civil
The one
case?
who alleges misproof.
Sorry?
The one who alleges misproof. So the person that will bring the civil claim before court will have to prove what they are saying is the action is involved, whereas someone expected that
In community talk, we stay with the High Court, but this time in the actual practice and work of the High Court as Fishrot plea taking continued. Stay with us.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
All right, in community talk, High Court Judge Moses Chinengo has made it clear that plea taking wants to continue today despite two of the accused, including former Fisheries Minister Bernard Esau's lawyer Florian Beekers, not being available as he is on sick leave. Now, Mbangasi Amunji told the court that it is not right for the accused to plea in the absence of their legal counsel, as they may suffer prejudice.
How does the court indicate that the court has evaluated the circumstance and there will be no prejudice? Because he's the lawyer representing the district. He is not here not because of his just own desire or volition. He is sick. A sick leave, as proof thereof, has been submitted to this court. So I'm unable to see in which sense proceedings will be able to continue without prejudice being on accused 4 and 24, because their lawyer is not here.
Do you have a brief for them?
Pardon, Your Lordship?
Do you have a brief for accused 4 and 24?
No, Your Lordship, but I'm just rising as an officer of the court, Your Lordship. Even if it was me or any other person, Your Lordship, sickness is an unforeseen eventuality. It's on that score that I'm rising, Your Lordship, because even if it was me, if I was booked off sick and this court wanted to proceed and say, well, accused 5, 10, 12, 13, and 14, your lawyer is not here, therefore, because this session was scheduled for plea taking, we must proceed. There would definitely be prejudice, Your Lordship.
What prejudice?
Your Lordship, the accused are legally represented.
I said, what prejudice?
Your Lordship, I cannot say exactly the nature of the prejudice, but the fact that they are legally represented means it's their lawyer that is there to guide them in the proceedings. So the fact that the lawyer is booked off.
If you want to help me, what prejudice does an accused person suffer in taking a plea, pleading whether he's guilty or not guilty, without any further steps being taken in regard to the trial?
Your Lordship, the plea itself must be an informed plea. We would not know, I wouldn't know what was discussed between the client and the lawyer, but even if it was me, Your Lordship, there would be prejudice in the sense that the proceedings should be guided by the lawyer. That is why the lawyer is there.
All right, now in economic news, NAMFISA caps medical aid contribution increases in order to tackle the affordability crisis. Stay with Sunset News.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Now, the Namibia Financial Services Supervisory Authority, NAMFISA, has imposed a temporary cap on some medical funds' annual contribution increases, limiting it to single-digit percentage with a maximum increase of 9.99%. The non-banking sector regulator said the move is in response to the escalating challenges posed by rising medical aid contribution rates. NAMFISA CEO Kenneth Matomola expressed concerns about the compounding effect of annual contribution increases and benefit reductions, highlighting potential affordability issues for medical aid in the long term. The decision comes on the heels of the registrar's observation of significant variances between actual and forecasted solvency numbers over the past 3 to 4 years, often absorbed by members through contribution rates and benefit limit adjustments, he said. NAMFISA has given medical aid funds until March 2024 to submit additional contribution increase applications along with realistic medium-term strategies to address fund sustainability. Now, concerns were raised regarding the lack of realistic and measurable medium-term strategic plans during the 2024 rule amendment approval process, questioning the credibility of certain medical aid funds' solvency forecasts. He said the NAMFISA CEO urged funds and administrators to implement measures that will streamline processes while reducing costs. Though that has been our economic news story on Sunset News. Let's swing over to the indicators. Looking at the indicators, the Namibian dollar trades at 18.89 next to the US dollar, with 23.72 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. Looking at commodities, all commodities are still in the green, but this time the largest uptick is coming from platinum with a plus 1.89% upsurge. Now, in international news, the U.S. State Deputy Secretary nominee says he sees a growing threat from North Korea. Stay with Sunset News.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
U.S. Deputy Secretary of State nominee Kurt Campbell sounded an alarm on North Korea, saying the reclusive nation was continuing to hone its ability to fire long-range weapons and showed no interest in diplomatic solutions to its standoff with the West. Now, Campbell made his remarks at a Senate confirmation hearing at which he was peppered with questions about Russia, China, and North Korea. Campbell expressed worry that North Korea was no longer interested in diplomacy with the U.S. and added that the latter will need to focus even more on deterrence. During the hearing, Campbell also said he was confident that China will be unsuccessful in building the kind of bonds of trust with South Korea and Japan, whose thawing relations, he said, would be crucial to the security of the Indo-Pacific region. Stay with Sunset News as we head into the weather predictions after the break.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
You are still with Sunset News. Let's dive into the weather predictions for the weekend. Windhoek is partly cloudy along with most of the towns you see on the board. However, it's much hotter in Rundu, expecting a 38 degrees Celsius maximum. However, it's also rainy in Rundu. It is sunny at the coast, Henties, Swakopmund and Walvish Bay to be specific, partly cloudy across the rest of the board, a little cooler in Luderitz and Ariamsvlei as well as Oranjemund. All right, those are your weather predictions. We certainly hope you've chosen the right outfits for the weekend. We're going to take a short break before I return with the sports news from the Sport Desk.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
All right, it's time for us to dive straight into our sports stories. Now, the iconic Nedbank Desert Dash race is seeing cyclists attempting to traverse the grueling 397-kilometer course from Windhoek over the Khomas-Hockland Mountains and then down to Swakopmund at the coast within the cutoff time of 24 hours. We're excited to see who wins that one. Now, the FNB Women's Super League Round 3 and 4 fixtures continued this weekend. The highlights of the weekend will see University derby between UNAM Bokkies and Nast Babes on Saturday at 6 p.m. at the NFA Technical Center in Windhoek. Moving over to some boxing, Harry Simon Jr. returns to the ring this Saturday at the Jan Vilken Indoor Sports Complex in Walvish Bay. The Namibian boxer will face Angola's Enrique Lando in a thrilling 10-round international fight at the Homecoming Volume 2 tournament. And the president of the Namibia Football Association, Robert Shimoshili, gave his views on the Black Africa and leadership squabbles the club faces at the moment as this hinders the club's participation in the ongoing Demarine Premiership. Have a look.
I think that is a Black Africa issue because there is two group of people, group of members of Black Africa who are fighting for leadership. That is their own business. That is their own affair. What we are advising them is only that they must sort their issue out. They must sort their differences out. We know them. They are all beneficial members of Black Africa. What we are encouraging them only for themselves to come on the table for the benefit of that very brand which they are claiming that they are related to it. It have nothing to do with the association. It have nothing to do with the Southern Stream, because once you took a decision which group of leader to recognize, the other one claim that you are not fair, which means the ball is on their hands so that they can sort out their differences. It was a case in Namibia for the past years. It was also in Blue Waters. It was in Citizen. It was in 11 Arrows, it was in Black Africa, but only Black Africa now, they start it again. That is not what we want. We don't want, even in the top tier league, we don't want the top tier league to, it's a very painful something to run without Black Africa. We compromise, it's a club with a rich history, which is supposed not to be relegated. However, when they are relegated, everybody expected Black Africa to join hands and they bring back the team to the top tier league. Now they start it again. For us, one can do in a personal capacity, perhaps only to mediate, to assist them to sort out. They are mature enough, they have capacity, they have experience as far as football is concerned, and we believe that they will sort it out one of the day for the benefit of their clubs and for the benefit of the Namibian football at large. We don't want to compromise the football in the country. It's not healthy. It is a very disturbing something.
We certainly hope that that situation can be resolved soon. And for all the EPL fans, we certainly expect you to have your eyes glued to the screen as Arsenal takes on Aston Villa, Everton takes on Chelsea, and Manchester United takes on Bournemouth. Those Well, that has been our broadcast. We'll take a short break on Saturday, but on Sunday, we'll be back with more Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.